Hey guys, today we're here and we're reviewing this. The Mercedes-Benz ML63. We are reviewing this absolute monster of a thing. And for those that have been watching my channel, you might have seen that the last video that we recorded was the BMW X5m, and that is the direct competitor to this car here. Now unfortunately we don't have the X5m and we can't do a side-by-side comparison. So if you are interested in the few comparisons that I will make in the video, be sure to watch the X5m video, because my goodness, what a car that is. Now anyways, we are driving this. It's a 2012 ML63 with a V8 twin turbo. It is far from the grocery getter, and the pull on this car is just, and the noise, and anyways, we are going to go for a drive in this car. We're going to talk about everything about this car that makes this car special. And you know what, I'm not going to ruin it, but I actually like this car more than the BMW. Anyways guys, let's get straight into it. Under this huge bonnet is a massive 5.5 litre V8 powered by two turbos, producing 384 kilowatts. Like, that's massive. And 700 Newton meters of torque, which means that this car can pull. The car drives on these huge 21-inch alloy wheels with these massive cross-drilled brake system here. Now the car has plenty of space in the cabin, which means that you and your wife can sit very comfortably in these bucket racing seats. You can fit 3 children in the back and 2 of your dogs, because let's face it, this is a family SUV, so you probably got dogs. I don't know. And it's got plenty of wood trim to remind you that you are still driving a Mercedes. What is actually really surprising is the lack of AMG symbols in the car. Like, if you were to look at this, it's got these massive bucket seats with the AMG logos, but if you look at the dash, it's so plain. Like, where's the AMG symbol on the steering wheel? And no AMG logos to be seen other than here, your sill. But anyways, that's all besides the point, because this is a ML63, and you know what? Just because you don't remember it when you're on the inside, when you put your foot down, oh my goodness, you will remember. So anyways, shall we go for a drive? Downshift. Look at it, it's up a hill like it's nothing. So we are here on the hills of, I don't really know, but the roads here are sensational. Like, this is like a easily 30 degree, okay, maybe not 30 degree, but easily a 20 to 30 degree hill climb. And it's just pulling. It just pulls harder and harder and harder. And unlike the BMW, its grip is not perfect, but my goodness, it's so much nicer to drive. Look at this incline. Like, it's accelerating like it's nothing. Hill? What hill? Oh my goodness, what a car. Now, unlike the BMW, this car is actually bearable. And what I mean by that is, the BMW is such a hard ride and it feels like it's on all the time. And what I mean by on, I mean that even when you have an eco and comfort mode and eco settings and all the rest of it, the car is still hard, the car is still rough, that after about a few days of driving it, I was just like, give me a break. Now, the only difference with this car is that if I go ahead and put it into comfort suspension mode and comfort drive mode, it softens up. So even a rather rough road like this, it's smooth and it's bearable. And I can cruise around and enjoy the view. Oh my god, the view here is just stunning. But it means that I can drive normally. Actually, wait, it's in manual mode. Now it's in comfort. Now, let's talk a little bit of the technical features of the car. So, it has a 5.5 litre V8 twin turbo. I've already discussed that. Now, if you bought a performance package for the car, it added an extra 26 kilowatts to the car and an extra 60 Newton meters of torque, which makes it more comparable to the X5m. And what I mean by that is, the X5m starts at 430 kilowatts, and 750 Newton meters of torque. Whereas this one only starts at 384, which is quite a big difference. So to really want to compare it to the BMW, you really want to get the performance pack. And would you need to? No, not really, not in a car like this. But you know what? You can never say no to a bit of extra power. So the car comes with a dual clutch transmission, which is a bit annoying because it's a bit slow for the dual clutch transmission. I'll show you what I mean. So let's put it into sports mode. Actually, let's put it into manual mode. And what I'm going to do is, after this will come a little bit of a straight. So watch, downshift from second to first. It took like an entire second. And okay, when I go to accelerate, that's an entire second. Like, it's a dual clutch transmission. It's meant to be instant. Like the X5m, that was an automatic, and that was rocket ship quick, like gear changes. And that's the one thing which really lets down this car, is that it's a performance car, but it's not a performance car, but it wants to be a performance car. It doesn't take away from anything that Mercedes has done with this car, because out of the two, I prefer this one. And not for roads like this, because for roads like this, the X5m, and we did actually test the X5m on a few windy roads actually in this part of the town, and the way that thing handled, it was like no other. Like the way it handled and the way it went around corners, oh, smooth road. You see that? It's slow. Now if I go from second to first, gear changes are just slow for a car like this. But it can still do this. This gearbox annoys me. So to get rid of this annoying gearbox, you put it into sports mode, and then it's still automatic. Like, instead of revving out and, you know, not letting you change gears, it'll do it for you. So that means you can enjoy it the way it should be. Oh, and the noise this car makes, it's dirty. You dirty little thing. Oh. I do love this car. I do love this car. Now, some of the luxury features that this Mercedes has is these nice leather seats, fully electric, but it doesn't have stuff like active bolster support or even electric bolster support, so you can do it yourself. So if you are a larger chap, they can be quite tight. It also has heated and ventilated seats, and what the awesome part is that you can actually do them both at the same time. Like, just after the gym workout, you can put on your heated seats and your ventilated seats, you know, just in case you are going on a nice date straight after. It's also got this beautiful wood finish, which I'm pretty sure is a walnut finish, but I don't know on the top of my head. Very soft, almost suede-like roof lining, and of course everything is black to make sure you know how sporty you really are. It has the nice LCD screen here, which is quite small, but in 2012 that was probably the standard. Of course, the navigation, Bluetooth, and all the rest of it. Seat memory for the driver and passenger. Automatic lights, automatic headlights, automatic wipers. It's got the adaptive cruise control as well, which is really quite handy in city driving. And this steering wheel, so you might not be able to see it, and even in the photos it's really hard to distinguish. It's like leather, and on the sides it's like an Alcantara finish, which is quite badly worn. To be fair, the car is 8 years old, and after 100,000 kilometers of driving, it looks more like leather now. That's the best way to describe it. What I do love is the leather finish on the dash. It's like, you know what it is? It's that luxury car with all the sporty accents, whereas I feel, and again I'm gonna bring it up, the X5m is more like the sporty car with all the luxury finishes. So like that car was built to be sporty, to be built driven around the track, whereas this car was built, you know, to be an ML, and then they thought, oh yes, let's make it an AMG version. Oh yes, we forgot some AMG badges, so on the cluster we'll just put a small AMG sign, because really nowhere else, like, it doesn't say AMG here, it doesn't say AMG other than on the seats. That's a little bit disappointing, because if I'm in an AMG car, I want to know, and I want everyone to know. But that exhaust, which even on startup and just driving off, it's so intoxicating. That gurgle, that I'm an AMG, look at me. I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, if we're going to talk about the different drive modes, it's actually pretty simple: comfort, sport, and manual. And you got 3 settings for the suspension: comfort, sport, and sports plus. And like now we're in comfort, now we're in sports plus, and around the corner it makes quite a difference. But again, the handling is just not quite there with where the BMW is. Like, that BMW was just something ridiculous. Like in this, you get into it, you drive it, you go around the corner, you're like, yeah, this is still an SUV. But that BMW, that was like, is this an SUV? Is this a sports car? Am I driving a Porsche? You just didn't know what was going on. Oh. But doesn't mean that you can't have fun in this car. Oh. And those downshifts, the exhaust is dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Oh. You can hear all my stuff rolling around in the back. Oh. Oh. That is it's just so intoxicating. Oh. Oh, and that fart. These slow gear changes. What on earth can you do? Oh, it's dirty. Oh, it's dirty, dirty, dirty. And what I love most is that it's still comfortable. Like if I go comfort and comfort drive, I can drive around these same roads nice and smooth. And I got a family of 5 in the car. But on the weekend I go vroom, 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 and we go. Yes, good Mercedes, good car. It downshifts automatically, and what a difference it makes. It's fun, this car, but it's also what it should be, a family SUV. And that's what I love about it, that if you want to drive it normally, if you didn't need to race around on a corner track like this, then you still can. And that's the nice thing. It's still a family SUV, as it should be. And that's why I like this car more than the BMW. This is a good little car. This is a good